Welcome back to Revise and Resubmit, the show where we break down the latest and greatest in academic research. I'm Pavlov.
And I'm Nikita.
Happy New Year, everyone. Hope 2025 is off to a great start for you all.
Yeah, Happy New Year.
We are kicking off the year with a deep dive into something that might be weighing on your mind after all that holiday gift giving.
Oh, you mean like that lingering guilt over a present that arrived a little late?
Exactly.
Yeah.
We're diving into a 2024 research article from the Journal of Consumer Psychology.
Okay.
And it's called Better Late Than Never. Gift givers overestimate the relationship harm from giving late gifts.
Interesting.
The title pretty much sums it up right.
Yeah, it really does raise some questions.
Yeah.
Gift giving is such a big part of our culture. We spend a fortune on presents every year.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
In 2023 alone, holiday spending in the U.S. was nearly $1 trillion.
Wow. That's incredible.
It is.
All that emphasis we put on gift giving. But as this research suggests, maybe we're overthinking things.
Yeah, maybe.
Especially when it comes to the timing of the gift. What I thought was really fascinating here is that gift givers often prioritize finding like the most unique or special gift.
Right.
Even if it means sacrificing practicality.
Yeah, you're right. There's that disconnect between what givers think is really impressive and what recipients find useful. Previous research has shown that people often receive like these special gifts that they never end up using.
Right.
While wishing that they'd gotten something a bit more practical.
Oh, I think we've all been there.
Yeah,
On the receiving end of those well-intentioned but ultimately useless gifts.
for sure.
But you know what else is interesting?
What's that?
It's this whole aversion to partial gifts.
Ah, yes, the dreaded gift card.
Yes.
That only covers part of the cost.
Exactly.
Givers seem to just avoid them like the plague.
Like it's a huge social faux pas.
Yeah, worried it'll be perceived as cheap or inconsiderate.
But isn't it more helpful in a lot of ways for the receiver?
Well, yeah, I mean, they can put it towards something they really want
Exactly.
without the pressure of, finding an exact match.
Exactly.
And I think that's what the research suggests, too.
Yeah.
Recipients are often more open to those partial gifts than givers realize.
Makes a lot of sense.
It takes the pressure off them having to reciprocate with an equally expensive gift.
Exactly.
So maybe we need to rethink some of those rigid gift-giving norms.
Yeah, for sure. And that brings us back to the focus of this deep dive.
Okay.
Late gifts.
Okay.
This research is interesting because it tackles a relatively unexplored aspect of gift giving, the timing.
Right. There's been so much research on what makes a good gift.
Right.
But the when really hasn't received as much attention. This study directly addresses that question of how those late gifts impact relationships.
And the key finding is that gift givers tend to dramatically overestimate
Really?
how much a late gift will damage the relationship. We worry ourselves sick over it. But recipients often aren't as bothered as we think.
Our anxieties just get the best of us.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
Why do we stress so much about it?
I imagine it has to do with societal expectations
Okay.
and that fear of being judged.
Yep.
Gift giving is so deeply ingrained in our culture.
Right.
We feel this immense pressure to get it right. We worry that a late gift will make us look like bad friends, inconsiderate partners, or even incompetent colleagues.
Oh, yeah. It's almost as if we're equating a timely gift with, like, the depth of our care.
Yes.
We think, if I really cared, I wouldn't have been late.
Exactly. It becomes this measure of how much we value the relationship,
Right.
which of course is not always accurate.
Of course.
Life happens, things get in the way, and sometimes gifts are delayed.
Right.
But do recipients really view it as this major transgression?
Yeah, that's the big question. Yeah, that is the million-dollar question, isn't it? And thankfully, this research didn't stop at just exploring the gift giver's anxieties. They actually wanted to understand how those gift recipients actually perceive late gifts.
Okay, so let's get into the recipient's mindset then.
Okay.
Do they secretly hold grudges over these belated birthday presents?
Right?
Or are they as understanding as we're hoping they are?
Well, the research suggests that they're a lot more forgiving than we give them credit for.
Oh, good.
In one of the studies, participants were asked to imagine receiving a board game as a birthday gift.
Okay.
And some were told that the gift arrived on time,
Okay.
while others imagined it arriving 2 months late.
Okay.
And then both groups rated how much they thought that lateness would negatively impact their relationship with the giver.
Oh, a board game 2 months late.
Yeah.
I'm cringing on behalf of the gift giver already.
Yeah.
So what did the results show?
Well, as you might expect, the gift givers predicted significant relationship damage.
Yeah, I bet.
But the recipients,
Yeah.
they were far less bothered by the delay.
Really?
Yeah, the difference in like perceived harm between those two groups was substantial.
Wow. So they're not automatically assuming that we've forgotten about them or that we don't care?
Right.
That's a relief.
It is.
But I am curious, what's driving this difference in perception then?
Yeah.
Why are recipients so much more chill about those late gifts?
Well, I think it goes back to that idea of signaling care that we talked about earlier.
Right.
Gift givers tend to fixate on the timing of the gift as like this direct reflection of their level of care. But recipients don't seem to make that same connection as strongly.
So it's not a simple equation for them, like late gift equals doesn't care.
Exactly. They seem to be more understanding and willing to give the giver the benefit of the doubt.
Okay.
Maybe they realize that life gets busy, or that sometimes things just slip our minds.
Yeah.
It's not necessarily a personal attack on the relationship.
It's refreshing to know that they're not sitting there stewing over our tardiness.
Yeah.
But didn't you say that there were some instances where recipients were bothered by those late gifts?
Right.
So is there like a point where it does become a deal breaker?
You're right. There are nuances to this.
Okay.
The degree of lateness definitely plays a role.
Okay.
So, for example, when a gift is only slightly late, like a couple of days, both givers and recipients don't perceive it as a big deal.
Yeah.
It falls within that acceptable margin of error, I guess.
I could see that, yeah, a couple of days could just be a simple mail delay or a scheduling hiccup.
Right. Exactly.
It doesn't necessarily scream, I don't care.
Right.
But what about those gifts that are weeks or even months late?
Yeah.
Surely there's a point where even the most understanding recipient starts to question the giver's intentions.
There is, and it goes back to something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
The ultimate gift-giving faux pas. Remember what's even worse than sending a very late gift.
Not sending a gift at all.
Precisely, and this is where gift givers and recipients are totally aligned.
Okay.
Forgetting an occasion altogether is seen as that sign of true disregard for the relationship.
Right.
It crosses that line from a simple mishap to a potential deal breaker.
It's like the difference between being late for dinner and forgetting your anniversary.
Right.
One is forgivable, the other not so much.
Exactly. A great analogy, and it highlights an important takeaway from this research. Okay.
While recipients are generally more forgiving of late gifts than givers anticipate,
Okay.
there's a clear distinction between a delayed gift and a forgotten occasion.
Right.
A late gift, even one that's significantly delayed,
Yeah.
still demonstrates that you remembered and you made an effort.
Right. So it's about showing up even if you're a bit late to the party.
Exactly.
But I'm wondering if there are other factors that come into play besides just the timing of the gift. We haven't talked about this in like a general sense, but does the type of relationship influence how people perceive those late gifts?
That's a great question. And it's an area that really deserves more research.
Okay.
This particular study focused primarily on friendships.
Okay.
But it's easy to imagine how the dynamics might shift when we consider other types of relationships.
Yeah, like think about the difference between a late gift for a close friend versus a distant acquaintance.
Right.
Or a family member versus a romantic partner.
Exactly.
Makes sense that the closer the relationship, the higher the stakes might be.
More emotional investment,
Yeah.
more history. A late gift for your significant other probably carries more weight than a late gift for someone you just met.
Absolutely. The level of intimacy, the shared history, those expectations within the relationship,
Yeah.
all of those things likely influence how a late gift is perceived.
Makes sense.
And it's not just about personal relationships either.
Right.
Think about professional settings.
Oh, yeah.
A late gift for your boss sends a very different message than a late gift for a coworker you're friendly with.
Oh, for sure. Navigating the world of professional gift giving is a minefield in itself.
It is.
A late gift in that context could be interpreted as disrespectful or unprofessional,
Yeah.
even if that wasn't your intention at all.
Exactly. And it raises the question of how you recover from such a misstep.
Right.
Perhaps a sincere apology, acknowledging the oversight.
Right.
A genuine explanation could help.
Transparency and sincerity can go a long way in any relationship, I think.
Yeah.
But let's zoom out even further. We've been talking about these individual relationships in social contexts. But what about cultural differences?
Oh, that's an excellent point.
Do societal norms around gift giving and timeliness play a role in how those late gifts are perceived?
Yeah, we know that cultural norms surrounding gift giving vary so widely.
Right.
In some cultures, punctuality is paramount.
Right.
And a late gift could be seen as a major offense.
Wow.
In others, time is viewed more fluidly, and a delay might not carry those same negative connotations.
So the takeaway is, if you're traveling internationally, do your homework.
You're right.
on local customs and expectations around gift giving.
Exactly.
What's intended as a kind gesture in one culture could be misconstrued in another.
For sure, cultural sensitivity is crucial, especially when it comes to something as personal and symbolic as gift giving.
Yeah.
But even within the same culture, individual personality differences could also be at play.
Oh, absolutely. Some people are just naturally more laid back about time and deadlines.
Yeah.
They might not even register a late gift as a big deal, while others are sticklers for punctuality and could find a delay incredibly thoughtless.
It's fascinating how these individual differences might intersect with that whole signaling care concept we've been discussing.
Right.
For someone who's highly sensitive to time,
Yeah.
a late gift might confirm their deepest fears about not being valued. While for someone who's more easygoing, it might just roll right off their back.
So it's like the late gift becomes this personality litmus test,
Yeah.
revealing people's underlying beliefs and anxieties.
Yeah.
It makes you wonder if there's a correlation between how someone reacts to a late gift and like their overall personality type.
That's a really interesting question, and it opens up a whole new avenue for research.
Yeah.
Imagine being able to predict someone's reaction to a late gift based on their personality profile.
That'd be great.
It could save us a lot of anxiety and second guessing.
Right, they're the type A perfectionist. Maybe I should just apologize profusely and send a gift basket, ASP.
Right? Or they're the epitome of chill, I'll just own the lateness with a humorous card and all will be well.
Exactly.
A world where we understand the nuances of gift giving and personality so well
Yeah.
that late gifts become just a quirky little bump in the road of relationships. That's a future I can get behind.
Me too.
Yeah.
But until we reach that gift-giving utopia,
Yeah.
I think the key takeaway from this deep dive is compassion.
Okay.
Compassion for ourselves as gift givers, recognizing that we all make mistakes and that intentions matter.
Right.
And compassion for the recipients, understanding that they might not be judging us as harshly as we judge ourselves.
Beautifully said. And remember, even the most well-intentioned gift can go awry.
Yeah.
So next time you find yourself scrambling to send that belated present,
Yeah.
take a deep breath,
Okay.
put in a little extra effort,
Okay.
and don't underestimate the power of a sincere apology.
Words of wisdom. This has been an incredibly enlightening journey into the complex and often hilarious world of gift giving. Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. Until next time, happy gifting, and may your presents always arrive on time, or at least fashionably late. Welcome back to the show. Before we wrap up this deep dive on the psychology of late gifts,
Okay.
I want to circle back to something we mentioned before about how even within the same culture, individual personalities
Yeah.
can make a big difference in how those late gifts are perceived.
Right.
What might send one person, into a tailspin of anxiety might barely register on another person's radar.
It's true.
We all have different sensitivities and expectations when it comes to things like timeliness and social norms.
For sure.
It's like, you have those friends who are always running late,
Yeah.
and it just doesn't seem to faze them at all.
Right.
They'll saunter in 20 minutes behind schedule with a breezy, sorry, got caught up.
Uh-huh.
And somehow it's charming.
Right.
While others are like meticulously planning their day down to the minute
Yeah.
and just get visibly flustered if anything throws off their schedule. And those personality differences, they probably play a big role in how they'd interpret a late gift.
Oh, definitely.
Yeah, for the chronically late friend, a delayed gift might just be par for the course.
Yeah.
A reflection of their own relaxed approach to time.
Right.
But for the punctual planner, it could feel like a breach of trust.
Yeah.
A sign that you don't value their time or the occasion.
Which brings us back to that idea of signaling care.
Yeah.
It's so fascinating how a seemingly simple act like giving a gift
Yeah.
can become so loaded with meaning and interpretation.
Oh, yeah.
We project our own anxieties and insecurities onto it.
For sure.
And those interpretations can vary wildly depending on, our personalities and past experiences.
Definitely. And it's a reminder that communication is key in any relationship.
Absolutely.
Like if you tend to run late or struggle with organization, maybe a quick heads up to recipient
Yeah.
could go a long way in managing those expectations and preventing misunderstandings. Totally. A simple message like, hey, just wanted to let you know I'm working on something special for you, but it might be a few days late.
Right.
Can't wait to celebrate with you soon. Can alleviate a lot of potential anxiety on both sides.
Absolutely.
Transparency and clear communication, always good rules of thumb.
Always.
But what's really resonating with me from this deep dive
Yeah.
is this reminder to give ourselves a break as gift givers.
Yeah. We can be our own worst critics.
Oh, for sure.
We get caught up in that pressure to be perfect, follow all the rules.
Yeah.
And sometimes we lose sight of the genuine sentiment behind the gift.
Exactly.
A late gift, especially one that's thoughtful and reflects the recipient's interests, is still a gesture of, love, appreciation, or friendship.
It is a good reminder to focus on the intention, the effort, and that connection that we're trying to build or strengthen.
Right.
And on the flip side, to give those recipients the benefit of the doubt, to assume the best rather than jumping to conclusions about their intentions.
Maybe that's the most valuable takeaway from all of this.
Yeah.
A little more grace and understanding.
Yeah.
On both sides of the gift-giving equation.
I think so too.
Relationships are built on far more than just the timely delivery of presents, right?
So true. Well, this has been an eye-opening exploration into the surprisingly complex world of gift giving.
It has.
Thanks for joining us on the deep dive. And remember, whether your gifts arrive early on time or a little behind schedule, what truly matters is the thought and care you put into them. Happy gifting, everyone. We hope you found it insightful. If you want to dig deeper into the research yourself, we'll include a link to the full paper in the show notes.
And if you enjoyed this episode of Revise and Resubmit, be sure to subscribe to our channel on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. We'll be back soon with another deep dive into the latest academic research.